Let's head over to our man in Gibraltar. Oh, you are actually in Gibraltar, are you?
100%. 100% in Gibraltar. There is a big old rock.
Where are you staying?
I'm staying in Spain, of course. So it was false advertising. I put into booking.com Gibraltar, and I've somehow ended up staying in Spain. So if I was to just switch the camera the other way around, you could see my hotel. It's literally a 30-second walk from Gibraltar. It's a very... Have you ever been? It's a very peculiar place.
Yeah, no thanks. I mean, if you're going on holidays, I mean, why the hell would you go to England and Spain when you can just go to Spain in Spain?
So you can walk straight across the border and you just flash your passport and you're from Spain into Gibraltar. The first thing you see is a red postbox on Winston Churchill Way. Suddenly there's a load of English accents coming towards you. You continue walking along Winston Churchill Way, which turns into the airport runway. And suddenly you find yourself walking straight across the middle of the airport runway. There's a couple of BA planes down to your left-hand side. And apparently they just put down the sort of level crossing when a plane is going to come in and land. And that is no more than 200 metres away from the pitch here.
Yeah, so what could possibly go wrong?
Well, exactly. And you can probably tell it's gale force winds. I flew into Malaga this morning and it was 20 degrees. Clear blue skies, driving down past Marbella, thinking, you could pull in here now and have a nice little bit of patatas bravas, a little bit of gambas, a nice little relaxing afternoon. Arrive in Gibraltar, it's bloody cold. As I say, very, very strong winds, which are definitely going to have an impact if it's like this tomorrow. They're expecting some rain as well tomorrow, and throw in a plastic pitch and, well, listen, maybe it's evening it up even just a little bit for Gibraltar.
Yeah, it's evening it up quite a bit. I mean, obviously, those of us who have access to the camera, which you have on your phone at the moment, can tell just how windy it is from the noise. But also, more specifically, we can also tell that the guy behind you is watering the plastic pitch. What the hell are they doing watering a plastic pitch?
That's a very good point. I'm not quite sure. It is... he's just broke it. He's just broke it. And now there's a big puddle down to our left-hand side. Well, this has gone horribly wrong. This is a disaster. The ball is literally going to be getting stuck in the middle of the plastic pitch. Yeah, I presume there's a good reason for watering the plastic pitch, that maybe it dries out very easily in this sort of wind and you just want to have a nice, smooth, slippery surface. It is a proper plastic pitch. It doesn't look real in any way. And listen, I think everyone is trying to play down the impact on it. The biggest impact may well be on Mick McCarthy's team selection, that he may be a little bit concerned about potential injuries. Will he risk Seanie Maguire on this pitch with a far, on paper, tougher task to come against Georgia on Tuesday night? Or do you look at a game like this and think, Seanie Maguire's never scored for the Republic of Ireland. Here's your chance to start the campaign with a couple of goals, a bit of confidence heading into that game on Tuesday.
Yeah, well, let's talk a little bit about that. What is your level of expectation about the quality of performance / the number of goals that we're going to see in this game, Nathan?
I just don't know. It's been the strangest build-up to an Ireland game because of the pitch, because it's a game that Ireland would win with ease 99% of the time. They beat them 4-0 and 7-0 when they met a couple of campaigns ago. But the fact that Mick McCarthy's only had 5 days, does he know his best team? What's he going to do with Matt Doherty? I still think Ireland will win this game. I don't think there's any chance that Gibraltar can take something from it. But is it going to be the 4 or 5-0 that people want? Who knows? I wouldn't put money on it. Like, who's going to score those goals is the biggest question. We do not have an out-and-out goal scorer. I think if this was a one-off game, his front two, and it may well be his front two, would be David McGoldrick and Seanie Maguire, neither of whom have ever scored an international goal. In fact, the entire squad, James McLean's the only player who's into double figures. So that's the biggest issue. You would hope that this is the perfect starter, that actually they can go out there and gain a whole load of confidence.
Yeah, you don't sound very confident of that.
Sorry, say that again, Ger?
You don't sound very confident of that.
I don't know what to expect. It's the first game in charge. It's not like the last time Mick McCarthy was here over 20 years ago, where he had endless warm-up games and friendlies and everybody kind of knew what was coming when he went up against Liechtenstein. They've had 4 training sessions to somehow get rid of the scar tissue of the Martin O'Neill era. And you would just hope that there's a freedom from the likes of Jeff Hendrick and the likes of Robbie Brady and all the criticism and the negative atmosphere that's been there for the last couple of years, that somehow Mick McCarthy and that man management that we've heard so much about from all his former players, that can have a very sudden impact. But when you do go down through the bare bones of the team, there's no doubt they can play better than they did previously. Can he get them together in the space of 5 days that suddenly, I think in particular, Brady and Hendrick look like footballers who can run this team?
2 years later than we thought they would be. I mean, maybe that's exactly what happens here, is that they both had setbacks for various reasons in their careers. They've both showed something of a return to form over the last couple of months, and it is them that we should be looking to rather than Seanie Maguire. As you point out, he hasn't actually scored for Ireland yet, and here we are talking about resting him in a game for another game, and he's our star striker, the one that we're putting all of our hopes on. It's too much for him so far.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. It's way too much. He started one game for Ireland a year ago in a friendly. That's it. His other 3 appearances have all been off the bench. So there is this enormous weight of expectation for a player who's playing championship football and who still says he isn't 100% fit. It is Hendrick and Brady. Now, Hendrick unfortunately had a good run of form sort of around Christmas into January, start of February. The last month, it seems there's been quite a dip. Talking to people who've seen him play for Burnley, he's been taken off at half-time in games, seems to be taken off early in every match. Just seems to have had a dip in confidence again at exactly the wrong time. And Robbie Brady is a strange one in that 2 years ago, Seamus Coleman picks up that horrific knee injury, and it's this big event, and we all focus on the year that Seamus Coleman is out. Robbie Brady picked up a knee injury and pretty much ended up spending the same amount of time out. Yet nobody really took that much notice of it. And he's barely got back into the Burnley side since. He's playing a few minutes here or there, got sent off very early on in his return earlier in the season, which ruled him out. And unfortunately with Sean Dyche, as somebody like Stephen Ward has shown to his benefit, when you're in, you're in. But when you're out of the side, it's very hard to get back in. And Robbie Brady has played very little football this season. In fact, over the last 18 months, he's played very little football. It's more a mental thing. That was there this straitjacket from the pressure, from Martin O'Neill, from the lack of preparation, that suddenly they're released and they're happy, and Gibraltar is the perfect game, and they come out and they embrace this situation. There's only going to be 2,500 people here. Over 750 of them, I think, are going to be Irish at the very least.
Yeah,
that's officially. So, this is the perfect atmosphere to go out and say, you know what? It wasn't Neil and Keane. It wasn't us. If we have somebody who believes in us, we can go and perform. But they've got to go and do it, because now I don't think anybody, if the players go out and don't perform tomorrow, I don't think Mick McCarthy's going to take a huge amount of stick about it. I think there'll be a definite realisation that maybe just the players aren't up to it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see his reaction if that does happen. I think we were talking in the build-up to this generally about a 3 to 5 goal win for Ireland, and everybody would go away happy and we'd move on to a very, very difficult game on Tuesday night, given our recent track record against this Georgian team that passes off the park in the Aviva the last time they were there. But the point that I was making about this specific game and the lack of confidence that comes from the previous campaigns, they do get the opportunity to hit the reset button as well, and so they must be feeling a level of excitement. And for them, and with that in mind, this weather, this crazy wind that we can hear at the moment, that doesn't actually help Ireland in any way. It's a complete leveller.
No. Oh, absolutely not. I don't think there's anything that can happen that can make it a complete leveller, because we're talking about a bunch of amateur footballers who are ranked 197th in the world, going up against a team full of players playing in the Championship and in the Premier League. So no matter what sort of hurricane comes along tomorrow or how much they water that plastic pitch, I don't think we can ever say, and I don't think Mick McCarthy can come out with an excuse if the performance doesn't go well, of saying there was a leveller out there. But you would have to imagine that the players should be looking forward to this and thinking, yeah, let's get this perfect start. You're right, Georgia is going to be a bloody tough test on Tuesday night. It could end up in the perfect start. You get 6 points. I think the buzz is back among the supporters. But if you drop points in either of these, suddenly it's the same old. The players aren't there. It's a shame in a way that it is this plastic pitch, because you'd love to know exactly what Mick McCarthy's thinking. Like, how many changes will he make for Tuesday? What's the midfield going to be tomorrow? Will it be similar to what plays on Tuesday? I don't think you go out tomorrow and play Harry Arter in this game or Glenn Whelan. There's no need for them. You do not need a holding defensive midfielder. Like, you can go all out in this. You can play McGoldrick behind Seanie Maguire. You can play a midfield of McLean on the left, Brady on the right, Howerhan and Hendrick in the middle, and play maybe Matt Doherty at left back and Seamus Coleman at right back, and be confident that you'll have more of the possession, that you can control the game, and get Jeff Hendrick on the ball, and let's see what he can do.
Is Matt Doherty playing left back? Can he play left back? Because there's been mixed signals coming from Mick McCarthy.
Yeah, there's been mixed signals throughout from Mick McCarthy. Personally, I would like to see them play a 3-5-2 just because I think that getting Enda Stevens and Matt Doherty as wing-backs in their best positions would be the ideal scenario. But he said he's going to play a 4-4-2. Matt Doherty could play right wing. The more you talk to former players, they all seem to think actually playing as a right-sided midfielder with Seamus Coleman potentially behind him is a huge difference to playing as the wing-back, where you've sort of have a freedom to get up and down that you need to have a level of understanding. And he has played left-back. He played left-back for Wolves last season in the Championship, and by all accounts was pretty good. I would ask fans to be a bit patient with Matt Doherty. I feel like he's on a bit of a hiding to nothing this week. In all likelihood, he's going to be in the Premier League team of the season at right-back. That's not going to happen out here for Ireland.
No,
that's not going to be.
No, let's get carried away and get excited. We've got to.
He's not going to be bombing forward. He's
dribbling past forward, smacking it. Come on.
Unless he's playing on that right. Listen, we would love it if he was. And if they play as wing backs, and maybe Mick McCarthy is keeping his cards close to his chest and thinks actually he's had a look at the players he has available and thinks 3 at the back is the way forward. But if Matt Doherty's playing at left back behind Robbie Brady or James McLean, it's a totally different Matt Doherty. You're just trusting him that he can do a good, solid job, and in a way that feels like a bit of a waste. Like he spoke about it yesterday about his confidence and how, I guess, he's probably getting a bit sick of people giving his manager so much praise for what he's transformed Matt Doherty into. Like Doherty's spoken about that goal he scored against Newcastle. You might remember, 94th minute, he pops up at the back post. Like, he was making the point, Nuno's not telling him to do that. That's instinct. That's game awareness. That's the confidence that has grown in him in the last 6 months, that he can read these situations a whole lot better. And the last thing I think we want to see here is Matt Doherty not getting over the halfway line for the entire game. Because,
yes, Gibraltar. That'll be Tuesday night when that happens.
We're not dropping. Yeah,
exactly.
Potentially, but even still.
We can wait 3 nights for that.
Doherty behind McLean or Brady at left back.
Nathan, what's the plan tonight?
Well, would you believe it? The head of the Gibraltar government has invited us for a reception, Ger, after the press conference. Chat about Brexit.
Does he know what you're like?
I'd imagine he's going to find out this evening.
Don't get arrested. And
I wonder, can you get stopped from getting back across the border? What's the protocol? I am a European.
Yeah, I'm sure, no doubt. I've seen there is a reality TV show which I've had the misfortune of stumbling upon about life in the Gibraltar jail, and it looks grand, to be honest, Nathan. You'll be fine.
Okay, fine.
We'll
Do you
come
want the
and
full
visit.
360? Do you want the full? So
yeah.
the rock here, right?
Yeah.
So there's the pitch, and then if you look right behind over here, this is the airport, literally right there.
Oh wow!
And Spain straight behind us.
Hello, sunny Spain.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Any sign of Alex Ferguson's horse?
No, the most famous footballing rock of Gibraltar almost destroyed Manchester United.
I mean, you could argue it did in many ways.
Well, you most definitely could argue that. I'm going to keep a close eye on this pitch watering and find out exactly what's going on in case there's any funny business.
Some journalism, Scoop Murphy they call you. No, Scoops Murphy, sorry. Good luck, Nathan. Thanks.
All right, take it
Thanks
easy.
a million. We'll talk to you again. That's Nathan Murphy in Gibraltar for our coverage of the Republic of Ireland's baby steps towards Euro 2020, which of course will have games in Dublin. So, important baby steps, and here's hoping that we can make it all the way, because imagine having some games to cheer Ireland on in the Aviva in a major tournament. How amazing would that be?